Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna get real weird with it.
A little much.
Well put. Thank you very much, sir.
Hit it.
Yeah!
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Figure It Out. Best new show on Thursday nights at 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've been told by my mama who did. Let's bring some other guests on, like this guy who's going to bring himself on. Get out of here. Let's bring Mikey on. Come on.
Hi.
Mikey. There's that guy again. There's Jeff.
Here
Don't
we
bring
are.
the other guy on because Mikey has a special introduction for our special guest. Second week in a row.
So special.
So special.
So special. Would you guys like to see it?
Who's
Good.
Papa?
Papa?
Who? My father.
My father?
Who?
Who can it be?
My father.
Who the hell is that guy?
Dad.
Who's that guy?
Eddie?
Papa, don't preach.
Eddie?
I'm in trouble deep. I don't like this shit.
Papa, can you hear me?
Mikey?
I can hear everyone. Can you hear me?
Everyone can hear everyone.
Magic.
It's amazing.
Magic.
How the hell are you guys, by the way? Are you all good? Are you all doing all right?
I'm going to get a rabbit out of my... No, sorry. Mrs. Kukovich showed up. Sorry.
No, well,
Cannot pull that rabbit out.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Shannon.
Doing well. Let's say hi to people in the chats and whatnot. You know, like Shane at the same time. It's like if you're not first, you're last. And I'm not going to use a word we were using earlier. Yeah.
Don't do it. They're not ready for it.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready. While I'm doing this, I'll say hello. I'll bring everybody up on chat. Just Jeff, you talk about your day. How'd your day? How'd it go?
my day went really
Tell me
well
about
of
your day.
unpacking and finding things, and then finding more things, and then asking you assholes, "Hey, should I put the Mythic Legions in the living room or in this room?" And then none of you answered except Jay, who was like, "I don't know. You should do what you want. Rotate your display," which didn't help at all because there isn't a display right now. There's
Hey, where should I
shelves.
put this stuff when I have no idea how the layout of your house is? Okay,
That's
I'll
it.
get right on that.
I gave you 2 rooms, living room or this room. It doesn't matter how it goes, just what room should it be
I was going
in?
to say put it in the bathroom, but then I decided I had to work.
Put it in one, then put it in the fucking other. Chat, could you please tell Jeff what fucking room to put this shit in? Thank you.
That'd be great if you could. I'd appreciate it.
Put it in both rooms. Done.
The haterade.
If I ever get a woman over here in the first place, she's gonna walk in and see toys automatically. So do we go with the classier
Why'd you
toy
go with a
or the
woman?
not so classy toy?
Show them all your NECAs. What's up, Cliff?
Chat, allegedly just part of the LBGTQ barbecue pew pew community. I don't know, man.
I am also part of the barbecue pew pew committee. I would like to have the record show that is that's my jam.
That's my jam. Barbecue jam. I see where you're going there.
I do enjoy a room full of people for the same reason that someone may enjoy a room full of women or a room full of men. But I like both.
You keep bringing up women though when you have a lady come over to the house.
Right.
Son.
I haven't met a fellow that I'd like to date.
Me either.
It
Except
looks
for
like
you.
you're sitting under
I'm
one.
married and you're my brother. So that's all kinds of Arkansas weird.
Yeah, it is all kinds of.
All right. We said hello, we said highs and whatnots. Let's go into GTFO.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll lead it off. I'll do some.
Why don't you GTFO?
I will GTFO. I am going to say this little guy right here because we're doing pickups chat as well over here. I went to a GameStop and picked up this grid. I don't know anything about this figure. He doesn't really come up really well on camera. Make him big. Make him a big boy. I
Yeah.
know nothing about this figure. I just think it looks cool.
It does look cool.
Every time I try to quit McFarlane, which if I don't get Power Girl, I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to quit McFarlane. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I thought that was neat. I think really that was it as far as that goes.
Yeah. Hi, Mikey.
Except for maybe like one other thing.
Okay.
So
Jesus Christ.
You bought a time machine that looks like a DeLorean?
it's not Jesus
Well, if
Christ.
you're going to buy a time machine that looks like that, it's got to have some pizzazz.
For God's sake, Zakainen, we've got to go back in time.
We hide.
This is heavy.
We hide. Now I didn't put batteries in it. I just got this yesterday. Man, I'm gonna drop.
I mean, look
this
at the
thing
inside, you fuck.
on stream. I want to be inside you.
All right, put us in there.
Zach, how has your wife not killed you yet?
Through guile. I'm crafty. I'm faster than I appear to be when I have
That's
to.
true. All right, okay.
Let me show that flux capacitor in there. Okay, all right. It's like you're just inside. And then
That's
look,
Dadgum.
out of time, bitch. We gotta go.
Does it have the alternative license plate for the barcode?
You know what? I don't know. And I think I waited probably about as long as I did for my baby boy over here at RoboSkull. I probably waited just about as long.
Does it come with a Mr. Fusion so you can convert it to the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2?
I'm telling you right now, I hardly dug into it. It's got the whole lightning rod thing. It's got Einstein, little static Einstein, and it's got a little tiny little clock, right? Which I think Einstein can wear.
Okay.
If I remember right. It's got trails of fire. It's got stuff like a turkey baster. Where's Gaines? I need to show these things off to Gaines. Gaines, what are these used for? For the fog machine, right? I am probably not going to put the fog juice in that motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now.
How much plutonium does it need to run?
Yeah, that's a good question.
6 or
I'm
7.
curious. 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Too rich for my blood, stranger.
Rich, you say?
Tony wants to know where you got that from. Where did you get the DeLorean from?
I won it. It was weird. Yeah.
Oh, wow. He didn't have to pay for it.
Where did you win it from?
Santa did it. Like I said, I was just getting collecting. I saw a couple of things. I saw RoboSkull. I'm like, well, that looks fucking badass. I didn't Kickstarter. I pre-ordered it. I just missed the Kickstarter. And then it was the same thing. Then that started to show up in my feed. And it's like, oh, hey, dumb white guy. Do you like toys? Do you like nostalgia? Do you like Back to the Future? And I went, yeah, I do.
What an idiot.
I Kickstarted the shit out of that
shit.
Oh, Jeff's like, boom. He went back
really
in time.
upset him this time.
You did. That was some bullshit.
Out of time.
Trying to add you to stage. Oh, no. Well, okay.
He wants to be left alone.
Trying. I love you and I want you here. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I hit the space bar and that was like, fuck off. I'm done.
I thought I had jumped my little tiny DeLorean because it's sized for me.
I mean, that is to scale with how big you are, so I'm sure you'll fit fine in it.
Yeah, a preemptive short strike on myself.
Yes, I don't know. I got nothing, man.
I did it. I took it from you.
Yeah, you did.
I used my time machine. I was like, that motherfucker's in a short joke. Beat him to it.
Mikey, what'd you get?
I got some toys.
You got some stuff?
Great.
Yeah.
You want me to make you big, or you want to get a camera? What you want to do?
Fantastic.
I want to see if the camera thing works. It didn't work last time. So let's see.
I'll hit my stop camera. Let me take my camera out of there and see if that does anything.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
Beep boop boop doop boop boop doop.
I'll say hi to Roll Keeper Dan.
Oh, what's up, Dan?
He's a good man.
He is.
Dan.
Dan, he's a good man.
So are you still in love with Robotron, or are you falling out of love with it?
2 more just showed up on my doorstep today. By the way, yeah,
Attaboy.
Yeah, Trace.
Attaboy.
Mikey might get one turned into General fucking Lee, maybe. I'm like, Jeff Wheatley's going to get a generally Tumblr. Wait a second. I got an idea.
That would be cool.
Them Duke boys in space. They're running shine in space. They're just trying to get by, trying to do right by them family.
Isn't that the just it's 10?
This might be my space daisy. I don't know. Look at that X Factor
stuff here.
You got an Albert Alpine.
I went to my comics shop and I got some stuff. And that is not a live feed. That is just the still picture from. That's interesting. All right. Anywho.
Did you try blowing on it? Did you try jiggling it?
I did try jiggling it. But I didn't do it long enough for anything to happen. So I didn't. I went to hung out with my comic shop guy for a few hours last Friday. And I came back with some comics.
Oh,
that's a plus.
You know.
Here, show them off. Let me get you big here.
Some real good ones.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's some comics.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that one, dude.
Archangel decapitates a guy after he kills his girlfriend. Ooh.
Well, it's a good thing he doesn't lose his head.
I am fully the full 7 over here.
That's a good one too.
And I'm erect.
I love that. I love that cover.
You like that one, Dan?
Pity the other guy. I pity the fool.
Classic Punisher uniform, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, shit.
That's the Tom Cruise cover.
And that one. Nothing is over.
Nothing is over. Except for when those credits roll. I'm 70 and I keep making rap.
Lou Caruso? Or is it Lou Caruso? You haven't missed a damn thing. You're good.
You really
Not
haven't.
a goddamn thing.
I'm going to be using this accent pretty much all night.
Great.
But the thing I got in my collection that I want to show off the most is from somebody in the chat. Hi. I'm Mikey from JMK Custom Works. Anywho.
Is it Batman?
It's not Batman, but one could use it.
Oh, there's buttons being pushed.
Oh,
Look at
I
that.
got a diorama from
Dynamite.
Legend Series.
Is that Legend
Only
Series?
over at the Legend Series, yeah. Look at this thing. I got it squeezed into this cubby.
So tight.
Look at the Days of Future Past poster he put in there for me.
Fucking badass, dude.
That is cherry on top action right there.
It's glorious. Real window paint.
That's cool.
Does it ever have like real hobo juice on the walls too?
Yeah.
Yes.
It smells authentic. This is the way I had it set up. Then I was like, well, that green looks fucking stupid. Get that back out of here.
Fucking Christmas bullshit. Get out of here, green.
Dickweed. Get out of here, glow in the dark figure.
Come on now. Look at that. Actually, that rhino looks badass.
He looks cool back there, doesn't he?
I was going to shit on it. I can't do it.
No, it's too cool. It would look cool if there was a black minotaur beside him, though. That would look pretty metal.
That would look pretty fucking cool, yeah.
Like in the shadows, right behind him, going.
Yeah. behind him is actually a Terminator.
Yeah.
Terminator robot. That's cool.
Yeah. There he is.
Nothing like a stealthy minotaur.
Like, they'll never see me coming.
Who made that Terminator, Mikey? What brand?
It was a NECA.
It was NECA?
Yeah, it was one of them neckers.
Listen, I don't agree with a lot of what they've done lately, but you know what? That's the past. They were good, okay? Or at least they didn't talk about how bad they were. Legend Series, look at that branding. Look at that placement. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at that.
It's good.
Everybody, if you've not subbed to Tony at Legend Series, I'm assuming everybody here has.
You better go do it.
Do it anyway. Also hit the like button, blah, 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 you know, on this channel.
The things. Do the things you would do for the
things.
others, okay?
Mikey, that looks awesome, dude.
It looks
I'm
great.
super stoked about it.
Oh, okay. I see it over your shoulder now. Okay. I was
Yeah.
wondering where you put it.
I chose this one because it's always in frame. Like it's always right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am super freaking stoked about it, Tony. Love it. Thank you so much, dude.
Jeff putting in work over here.
Well done, Jeff.
John, what'd you get?
The newest thing that I got, I think, and this is pretty weird, but I got me one of these.
Love it.
Oh.
Stupid.
Yeah, I got one of those this past week.
So you got a Lex Luthor security bot and Kryptonite too, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I got to point and think about where I'm pointing to. Yes, there.
Right there.
Signed by Bobby fucking Vala. Fuck you,
my
Zakainen.
God.
I love the shit that he signed that like that. I am not shitting you. And then Mython had to copy me. Like, fuck you and your big ass glasses. So now I got to go and get another figure that says, fuck you, Zakainen, and your short ass.
You gotta have gold.
And or in.
I'm pretty sure he'll sign that for you. I mean, he probably would do that if you didn't ask him to anyway.
He popped on to the Figgy Awards and has alluded to that he might stop doing that.
I mean, I appreciate him for making me and my buddy $1,000.
Hey, the Pink Vanguard?
No, 100th figure that was bloodied and signed.
Didn't you have a buddy that sold the Pink Vanguard too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you
Zach, don't make
sold
shit
that
up.
on stream.
I don't know what you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
god! You never name dropped them. You just said.
I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly
my
don't.
God.
I didn't have anybody do that. No, we only sold the bloody bone collector.
I mean, it was a Bloody Bone Collector.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. Yeah, that's what it is.
Thanks.
It does sound like you
Definitely
do
what
know
it is.
someone who has a Pink Vanguard and they sold it. You son of a gun.
I know it does sound like that, but no, honestly, I don't really give a shit about the Pink Vanguard.
Hate crime. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this like last time, man. I know we're gonna like wax poetic on DC is kind of what I'm thinking here. But it came from the collection. We got to do it. It came from the collection.
I should probably. I gotta crack that figure open too. So appropriate. Karai, this is the Shredder's daughter. I really like this style of Ninja Turtle. I like the comics Mirage version. So I've been kind of collecting these. I haven't caught any like Foot Soldier. All I got is like Shredder.
I don't know what that's.
Am I having a stroke? What's happening here?
I don't know.
Be stroking.
Right. But cool figure. Yeah, I'll get her open, I guess. Why not?
Do it.
Karai? What's her name? Oh, you're muted.
Bing
Probably because
bong.
you didn't want to like be loud
Karai.
with your.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
I did take advantage of the GameStop sale. I got these.
Oh yeah.
Buy two, get one free.
Yeah. And I was like, well, that's maybe the last time I see the Grenadiers because they're all gonna be in fucking Rhode Island.
I'll be at
Woody's house. So, scooped up another one.
Man, I'm glad I paid for this extra internet and I still look like trash on the live stream. Gotta call up the old KUKs. Go, hey friends, how's it going over there?
They're gonna know that's a trap right off the bat.
They will. They're trained for that sort of thing.
Well, I want to go into it with them knowing that.
Oh,
That's where I'm at with it.
So she's pretty dope. Kind of like her a lot, actually. There's not like any chrome or anything fancy like that, but Definitely looks like it came out of a comic book. Oh god, she's got pins. Whatever shall we do? But she's pretty cool. She comes with some weapons and some other hands and crap, and I'm not gonna get those out right now. So here she is. This is my crack that finger open. It's correct. So yeah.
Heck yeah. We'll
I
highlight
love
some
it.
chats over here. Jeff Mo taking advantage of that GameStop there.
You got to, Mo. You got to.
I haven't been to the GameStop in Lawton yet. I haven't been to a lot of places in Lawton yet. I've been kind of busy.
It's time to explore, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I also don't really care. I just want to get my house in order and pet my dog and watch movies.
We're talking about that Tony's Dios there.
Yeah. And Mr. Jerk is here. Mr. Robert as well. Hello, Robert.
Hello,
Where's that-
jerk.
Where's that jerk at?
Here's that jerk.
What's up? You know, the whole I don't know. I might open up this. I don't know.
Why don't you do it?
I don't
Did you
know.
order another one, or is that the same one?
That's just the same one. I haven't busted it open. When they start going on sale, I'm like, do I want 2 of those?
Yeah. Even I want that thing, and I'm not a big Longbow fan. So
I fucking love. Well, Lobo.
Longbow.
Fucking the main man. I've got on my fridge. I got a big old display. I love the shit out of this guy, and I really want to do that. Thanks to Gaines, like I'm gonna put some blood on him.
Yeah,
woo, bought me fanboy.
that's cool.
Love this figure. We're talking about DC tonight, and I started playing with all my DC stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't found my Mafex tote, so
That's an important tote.
it is it's a pretty expensive tote.
I've got 2 GameStops. There's like 5 that are like within a half an hour drive total time, right?
Same.
So yeah, I got 2 that are pretty good.
I am in Oklahoma City. There was a couple, but there's only really 2 that mattered. Like I would go to all of them like once a month and just check it all out, do like a loop. But like, meh.
Yeah, and Joshua, yeah, that the GameStop I went to ended up having 2. The 1st one that I hit. I know, Mikey, you found one right for Jeff at a GameStop.
Yeah. I found 2 at GameStops. The second one I knew that he wanted one, so I got that one.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, sir?
So this is what came from the collection for me tonight. It is the Best in Action IDW Comic Con San Diego edition Leonardo.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yep. I really like the look of these guys. I wish that another company would do these, but for now it's Best in Action. So, and their quality is improved. I bought their first Leonardo that was based on the cartoon, and that was hot garbage.
Yeah.
And they've only gotten better with time. And I don't know. I really like this figure. I collect Leonardos. I don't go for all 4 turtles. Like right now, I'm negotiating for a Mezco Leonardo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jeff, if I didn't have like the Eastman Laird turtles, like those would probably be the turtles I'd be chasing down. Would be those. Great price. What's the price point on those? They're pretty cheap too, right?
$20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$20.
Dope.
That's a solid figure, man.
Yeah. And there's a raft that comes with a motorcycle, and like I kind of just want to buy it so I can have the motorcycle. And raft that's just going down like a path that like I don't want other turtles. Like I have my 4 turtles, the red bandana ones from NECA, the 4-pack that my dad got me.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. Like that's my 4 turtles. Those are my 4 turtles.
Yeah.
And they are starting to sell those in single packs, and I might pick up that Leonardo and paint his bandana blue, just so it's different. But
I swear I have seen those in the single packs around here somewhere. I'll keep my eye out.
Hey, this figure's pretty freaking cool, dude.
That is pretty freaking cool.
Boop. No lie, Mikey. When I saw this, like all the promo shots and everything, I like, nah, this hood's trash. I don't like it. But then now
I did
I've
not
seen
care at
people
all.
in hand for it, like you, Jerk,
It's a dope figure.
somebody else. I was like, man, that looks actually a lot better than the shots I were seeing. I don't know if the photography was just wonky on the shit or what.
I don't know. In hand, this is a legit figure, and I give no fucks for ninjas. But look at this, freaking cool.
That is freaking cool.
And he's got what six hands. He comes with three sets of hands. Like Hasbro, start doing that. That's nice.
Yeah,
That is pretty
classified.
nice.
Get your shit together. Classified. Want more head sculpts and hands. My God.
I mean, even
trick ass hose.
I mean, even these guys came with like multiple hands. So like, it's kind of funny that Hasbro doesn't do that all the time.
Should be standard, man.
Should be.
HGC, a man of taste and culture. That is a cool ninja friend. And he probably like tipped his monocle. Yeah, Jerk. Yeah, when Jerk was showing this off, man, that Storm Shadow looked real good. I'm still not crazy about
His
the
review was
camo.
the first one I looked at that I was like, if I see it, I may have to get it.
Well, somebody, man, it might have been George that was on the Figgy Awards. Rev. Yeah, I think he had all the stuff cut off of it. And it looks so much better with all that classified. When you declassify it, it looks a lot better. I think.
See what you did there.
I did not.
Clever.
No.
Clever.
I stole it from somebody. Probably Jerk. Barcode.
Probably.
Every time, all the time.
All right, the
Hell
9:30
yeah.
9:30 mark here. I think we jump in, or at least I can. I could start it off with it came from the collection.
You should.
We
Well,
do-
I did that with Leonardo.
Oh yeah, so you did start it off.
Yeah.
We're already rolling. Jeff's
We're already-
keeping
we're
it
already
going.
This is in the
Yes.
collection.
This fucking Jeff over here is kicking ass, man. This new Jeff in this new place.
No, yeah, New
Yeah.
Jeff is great. I love New Jeff. Like, so I know this
It's
doesn't
like in
matter.
Cerebro. Like he's just running so freaking efficiently right now.
I'm gonna grab this. You talk.
I used to see my shrink 4 times a month, then it got bumped down to twice, and now it's only 1 time a month. And like, she has recommended that I drop an anxiety med because I'm doing really well here. So
That's
That's
because
awesome.
this is now taking the spot of one of the medications.
well, I mean, it's that, and like this whole environmental change is fucking amazing. Like, holy shit!
Okay. You might have to make
That's
me
so
big
cool.
because I'm not letting go of this baby here.
I mean, I could always use that for a housewarming present. Just fucking saying.
Why don't you do that, Zach?
They ain't gonna happen. But you can
That's
make me.
right.
You can make me. There you go. Thank you.
God damn, that's
You're
fucking
welcome.
cool as shit.
I love John Constantine. He's got so many banger stories, and I love Timothy Bradstreet, the artist who did this.
God damn.
And can you see can't really see his signature on there. And I didn't want it on the artwork itself. I was like, hey man, I know people do that all the time. I don't want it on your art. And this is a reproduction. There's no way I paid for the the original on the son of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But my wife, she knew I loved it, and she got me a great frame for it. Got it all boxed out. I fucking loved the shit out of this thing, and I think Bradstreet just nailed like how I think Constantine is, and it kind of looks like Gordon Ramsay, who I also really like.
Yeah. That is cool as shit, Jay.
Very
That is
nice.
awesome. I'm surprised you don't have the Mezco Constantine.
Mikey.
Oh God. It was okay. I just wasn't that crazy about it.
I don't know, man. I bought that son of a bitch in a heartbeat.
Well, actually, the guy I was just talking about, Rev, he had this whole setup as dioramas, and with his blacksmith diorama, I want to say is his IG,
Okay.
and the diorama for it looked fucking cool. I mean, it posed really well. I really liked it. But whenever I see that Mezco with somebody else that I want to put him in with, mix him in, it just
Okay.
not quite there.
No, I hear you. It's I don't I don't mix and match my Mezco stuff. Like my Mezco stuff is standalone, so I
Yeah,
understand completely. Like I don't like putting Mezcos with anything else. So.
Now that said, if I get Doc Nocturnal, like I've been waiting on, I might put him with Doc Nocturnal. I might want to get him. We'll see.
Should have Dr. Nocturnal and fucking Constantine duking it out.
Well, and I got Vex, right? Bartholomew Vex. I think would also would probably shoot really well with that Mezco Constantine. God damn it, Jeff! You're talking me into fucking getting that Constantine.
And you can get some crustacean people.
Yeah, get some crustacean people.
Yeah.
You know what that sounds like?
Ooh, what a lovely tea party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's my. It came from the collection.
That's pretty fucking dope.
Well done.
Nice.
Who's next? John, you got something?
Yeah. I always got something from my collection. Tonight, I want to show off this guy. This is old, not super old. I absolutely. I think on another show I said this was one of my favorite toys of all time, and it really is. This is when Hasbro and was letting this stuff come to the States. They did this Action Man. Underneath everything, he's got this sweet ninja suit.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so he could be both. And what's cool is they like went all in with this character. He comes with a really sweet shotgun too that they don't show in any of the art for whatever reason. But they did another version of it that was had a dirty coat.
A dirt. Oh, okay, I got you. Like it's weathered.
Yeah, it was a dark, kind of a more faded color. It wasn't the bright green.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. Hasbro went they went all in on it. I think it's actually marked as Kenner. They even did they did this little set to tie in that has like camping gear and a camera.
Oh man, why don't they do that all the time for everything?
Got to bring your dynamite when you're taking pictures and camping.
Well, you got to have that for the. This is a detonator.
Yeah.
And these have little magnets on them.
And you might have a Sasquatch that needs regulated.
Got to get the Sam Squanch, and then they did.
Regulator!
They did this set to go with it too. That's just like a little bivouac,
man.
MP5.
They went all out with it, and it was just like one of the few toys in that line that they did a whole bunch of accessories that were just in that one toy. And I still think it's one of the coolest toys of that era. It's got the thick Hall of Fame body that the G.I. Joes have, but this one is articulated. It doesn't have rubber arms. It's fairly well articulated. So it was like Mikey and I probably had 6 of them.
What year did that come out?
92, 94.
Action Mans.
I think it's like 94, but 1994.
You know, HGC said this about the Iger sanctioned Action Man, and I'm thinking about an old 80s movie. Something October. It's like they were in a house. There was all kinds of like laser sighting things like going through as they were attacking. Like they were just hanging out, having a party, and all of a sudden everyone showed up and there was a house full of spies. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I have a vivid memory of going, that's a cool fucking movie. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, seeing the Iger sanctioned Action Man. I don't know why that movie's popping in my head right now. Probably a stroke.
I don't know. Maybe it is. It may be a stroke.
Clint Eastwood's 70s film.
Dirty
Dang,
Harry?
I wonder if that's it.
I can hear you.
Is it Dirty Harry? It could be Dirty Harry.
Is it Dirty Harry?
It could be Dirty Harry.
Then, Mikey, you're covered with your. It came from the collection?
Yeah, it came from the collection. Was the new Dio.
The new Dio. Shout out to Tony and Legend Series.
Sorry about that. My dad called. I wanted to know why I hadn't.
Ew, dude.
Ugh, people with family.
I know.
I used to have family back in the day.
My God,
Left them all behind.
Hang on. Bring him back up. Bring him back up. Has he been on our show yet?
God damn it. That's so
Hey,
awesome.
Clint, you'll have trouble finding a harder ass than mine. Had more saddle time than any cowboy you ever heard of.
Please don't make me spit beer out of my nose.
What's he drinking there?
Well, that's a tall, cold can of fuck you. My favorite beverage, paired with my favorite pair of pants. And a belt buckle my daddy gave me before he left on for this big city. Anyways, that's
the
Clint.
twist is it's actually a Zima with just a different label on it.
How dare
Quiet
you? Hey. Last time this guy's on the show.
I
I swear
swear.
by my pretty floor bonnet, I will end you.
Make me do it, Dan.
Have you settled on a name for him yet?
He's Clint.
It's Clint?
Clint.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
Clint.
yeah.
Clint the Clit Commander? Is that what we're going with?
It's not an official title, but they know him by that in every rodeo that's around beer. That's for sure.
Every roadhouse, every honky tonk.
Every
my
single
name.
one of them. You got sawdust on the floor. I guarantee there's panties down there with it.
Sawdust and peanut shells. Tell you what.
Guy, appendix carries a 1911. That's how hard he is.
Oh man. All right, let's
Moving
go after
right
that.
along.
After that, we got to get into the meat, obviously.
All right, so
Suck it.
all right, so for a blanket statement, Kingdom Come, The Dark Knight Returns, those are all of our favorites. We don't need to mention those. Those are just things that we all enjoy. So
We're all big fans.
we're all big fans of those two stories, and that I didn't want to speak for anybody else on anything else, but that was the two ones that I was like blanketed. We love this. So
We talked about that. We were like,
Yeah.
man, these are just so obvious. We're all going to pit I know Jeff and I are like Dark Knight Returns. Like that's our favorite Batman. The Long Halloween's also good, but I mean, holy shit.
yeah, it's not a favorite, but it's good.
Yeah. Dark
Yeah.
Knight Returns is fucking iconic. It's legendary.
I always
The
think
Dark
about
Knight
if
Returns
it's a
is
comic
not
you would pick up and read again, like at any
Mhm.
time, like you see it laying there and you're like, I'm just gonna thumb through, and then you end up pulling you back into the story. That
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns is top of the list there.
Yep.
Certainly.
Yep.
Certainly.
All
Well,
right.
Jeff, you want to keep going? You want to lead off?
Who wants to start?
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, you did
Okay.
it. You started.
You got momentum, baby.
I made a fancy thing for it and everything. So, boop. Now I can just see. Okay, so the whole Night Quest, Night's End, fucking that saga is one of my favorite stories of all time. Like the breaking of Bruce Wayne, the return of Bruce Wayne, John Paul Valley's go as Batman. Like it definitely was that era, in that era when like everything horrible was happening to a DC character. Like the Flash, Wally West got fucking crippled. Diana got dethroned. Superman fucking died. You know, it's like just one of those things. And like, it wasn't a good time for DC Comics. They're like, how can we make this horrible for everyone? And they did. And that's, you know, how we got like shitty versions of the Justice League, like Justice League Detroit. Fuck. So that whole arc and storyline was just good. And like, even the lead up to like, even before when Bruce didn't have his back broken and John Paul like subbed in a few times.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
It's okay. Up next is The Gates of Gotham, which is a Dick Grayson Batman story. It has to do with the origins of how Gotham City was founded and the two guys that did it, the Gates brothers. And like, the story is told from a journal, and it's also told from like fake historical fact from like, you know, the reader's perspective. But like the get you moment is that like, yeah, of course you were reading a journal from a guy that was in Arkham. So yes, of course this story is not going to be true at all. Like this came from an insane man due to the suit and everything else that it did, and it's just a really good story of like how Gotham kind of shit on somebody, but maybe they didn't. Who knows? So that's a good one. The next one is Elseworlds Gotham by Gaslight, the first Elseworlds comic, supposedly. Shows Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
The first
Shows
one with that
Batman
label, yeah.
Yeah, turn of the century, like 1800, like the 1900s to, from the 1800s. And, they took a classic story, Jack the Ripper, and threw him in Gotham. And, like, what if, and it was a good story. I mean, at the time, it was the leading theory on who Jack the Ripper was the Queen's doctor. And, they kind of roped that in with a doctor being Jack the Ripper and everything else. It was really cool. Great story. Great story. If you read any Batman comic, this is the one, So, Batman Under the Red Hood. So back in the day, there used to be 2 rules. You don't bring back Bucky, and you don't bring back Jason. And then, like, the 2000s, they were like, meh, fuck those rules.
Fuck it.
And so when Jason came back with a vengeance, fanboy Jeff was like, fuck yes. Like, you're not Robin anymore. There's none of that shit.
Yeah.
You're a fucking, awesome anti-hero that, like, in my mind, like, my mindset, like, I agreed with him. Yeah, you can't stop crime, but you can fucking control it. And, like, that's where Jason was coming from this entire comic. It's just great. It was
the way he came back, too. I mean, it's like everyone goes into the dark and comes back the same. That's what I really liked about that.
Yeah, like, he came back totally fucked up, and yeah.
They did it right.
Yeah. So, this is also a fun book. Batman vs. Predator, books 1, 2, and 3. So, the first one was the solo one, where you're on your own. There it is. Yeah, well, that's a good one, too.
I put the F.
Yeah.
I like that comic a lot.
The second one had the Huntress, and the third one had Tim Drake as Robin, and, like, all of the stories revolved around who Batman was working with, like, for the most part, in the follow-up books. It was really cool. Just fun stories to read. The next one I got coming up is all of the Elseworld Batman books. Headcanon, that's also a great book, Speeding Bullets. But
was that where they got that one McFarlane figure where it's him as Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just the Elseworld books in general are my favorite. Like, I like familiar faces and, like, foreign areas, like different times and different places, and just, legends built up around X, Y, or Z. So this is my last one. It is Green Arrow Quiver. So you take Kevin Smith, who I think is a great comic book writer, and then you take Alex Ross, who does all of the covers, and you combine them together, and you get fucking this.
That's Alex Ross there in that?
Yes.
It does not look good. That's not like Alex Ross.
It's also very small. So, but yes, I assure you.
I assure you.
But this book revolved around Ollie coming back from the dead, and everybody kind of freaking out about it. And, like, Batman played a kind of major role in it because he was asking, like, how the fuck did you come back? Like, scanning him, doing all the things. And I thought it was Alex Ross. I am mistaken. Jerk is right. Either or, I love these covers. So, but those are some of my favorite DC comic storylines. I could go into it, like, a long way. Like, the Longbow Hunters, which I didn't mention, but I talked about last week, I think, is one of my favorites. And just, I didn't want the list to take 30 minutes because it would. So, yeah.
Also, we're like favorite story arc, and Jeff just went through 10 of them.
Yeah.
Guys, we knew that was going to happen because, like, we couldn't get Jeff to focus on, like, one, right?
It really, like...
That's your jam. DC is your jam.
Yeah, DC is my jam. Like, I really like DC comics. Like, I even like the Gold and Silver Age DC comics.
Oh, man, All-Star Squadron, even, like, that's the revitalization of those stories, right? When I was reading, 80s and 90s when they, did All-Star and then Justice Society. Like, I loved seeing that kind of that noir version of the heroes. I was like, that's fucking cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, if you want to get really cheeky, we can go about The Watchmen, how that is a DC Comics published book.
It is.
And, like, But again, that's one of those stories that like everybody fucking loves this. So, you know.
Well, and Shane said something earlier about like Hush. Now, see, I haven't read Hush because I stopped reading. And Jeff and I have talked about this. Like, I need to read Hush. I need to read Gotham by Gaslight. I need to read Quiver. Those are the top 3.
So HGC, yes, I do. I love Jeff Jones. I like whenever he does anything. So that's just the fanboy in me.
John's is real good. Did he start his own comic book IP?
No, but he fucking saved goddamn Green Lantern from burning.
Yes, he did.
That's the other one. I love, and then Mr. Kukovich, I've talked about this with Hal. Like Emerald Twilight and everything. Like I have not read any of that. Blackest Night. I've not read Blackest Night.
You should.
Shane, you're not wrong. Like I was out of the game for a long fucking time. And that's before comic books got really, really shitty. And every time I thought about, you know what, maybe I'm going to jump back in. And there's something on the news. They assassinated Captain America. Well, fuck you. You killed Steve Rogers? I'm not going to read. There's always something stupid that happened right when I was thinking about jumping back in, or like, nah, fuck you. I'm not reading.
But the Bucky Cap arc is amazing. Like after Steve dies, the Bucky Cap arc is in my opinion, is some of the best comics like written. Because you're seeing Bucky struggle with, like, measuring up to Steve, and he knows he doesn't. Like, Bucky starts carrying a fucking pistol with him when he's Captain America, because fuck you.
I didn't need to see that shit. I had my Bucky as Nomad. That's fucking Bucky. That's my... congratulations.
I completely understand, but, like, I just like him.
But, God, like, Frank, you got the fucking shield? How the fuck did Frank fucking Castle get the shield? That's the dumbest goddamn thing I've heard of.
Carefully.
Here, Red Skull, you should take the shield. Maybe you'll become a better person now. Get fucked.
Ooh. Good idea. They're gonna steal that.
It's actually not a bad idea. It's probably going to be the next line of stories, but
I have changed my ways. I've had time to think upon it.
No.
Again, it gets to go back. It goes holler back to a former episode. Just let villains be fucking bad, man. Where the fucking villains gone, dude?
Hell yeah.
I don't need to have sympathy. Also, a motherfucker called us out about our Magneto rant. I'm sorry. Magneto did matter as the fucking leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants before we found out he was a Holocaust survivor. Sorry. My bad.
No, he did. He was a great fucking villain. In fact, again, we talked about with New Mutants when he became the headmaster, which is mind blowing. Again, that was the whole when I was reading Fall of the Mutants, Mutant Massacre. They're still dealing with a fucking Magneto, except he's a great fucking teacher. He fucking loves mutants. He just doesn't give a shit about humans. Still. Yeah, I did, man.
Yeah.
Magneto was right. Also, Scott. Scott was right.
Scott was right. Yeah.
Colossus. Okay, listen. No Marvel. No Marvel.
That's not what tonight's about.
I'm trying to hold back.
Hold back.
Fair.
Hold back.
All right, so who's next for DC goodness? Zach, do you want to go?
I'll go just because mine's pretty short. I mean, for me, when I'm reading this, so 84, do the math. I don't know, 11, 12 years old. I don't know. When I was reading, and I'm getting in a comic for the first time, and it was the Judas Contract. And this is part 3. I just got goosebumps again thinking about this shit. Like John's talking about, like our favorite shit. Like we'll go back to something where like
top of my list right
nostalgia just hits me, man. The endorphins hit me, and I'm like, this for me was I never liked Robin. Okay, Dick Grayson was my favorite Robin, but I'm like, I don't. My Batman, I don't need Batman to have Robin. I don't need it.
Okay,
he's his conscience. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. So he leaves, go on his own. All the sidekicks, man, get together. And it's that moment where he knew as Slade, Wilson, Deathstroke the Terminator, things are going down. He's like, I'm not Robin anymore, man. That's not me. I can't be this. I got to be the next step in like my evolution. And he didn't say that shit, but that's obviously what I was reading here. I was watching kids grow up, which is what I was doing. So I identified with it. So when that happened, And then him and Speedy sit there, or was it Red Arrow? I forget what Speedy became. Did he become Red Arrow at that point? Because it wasn't Arsenal. Arsenal was like Young Justice.
I think
Arsenal was
Speedy in that book.
Miles.
Was it Speedy at that time?
At that time, yeah. I can't remember now.
Because I remember that
he became Red Arrow, and everybody was like, "That's literally your new name." He was like, "Shut up."
Well, that cover where they like they're leaving, like in part 2, where you see the Robin costume in the trash can, you see the Speedy costume in the trash can. I was like, oh man, what the fuck's going on? And then bam, fucking Nightwing and Jericho being, Slade's son, and then the whole backstory about how he lost his ability to talk, how Slade lost his fucking eye. God damn. This book, Brother Blood, when you have a spread in a book, right, and there's Brother Blood bathing in blood back then, I'm assuming that comic, I'd have to look. I don't know if that was the Comics Code was out at that time or not, because I highly doubt it was approved by the Comics Code.
I think the Comics Code came into effect in 80. I could be wrong.
I mean, it was like flirting around because 84, it had it on here. So it had, I don't know, but I'm assuming it had to be around that time. But I mean, everything, Terra, everything in this story coming out. Holy shit. Everything with Teen Titans for me.
Mature themes, like all through that book. And that's the cool thing about it, right? It was like the Titans are coming of age, and everything about it was super serious adult shit to deal with. You saw a little bit of what Grayson was going through in Vigilante when he like defended him, and as that story starts decomposing and turning into crap, you saw a side of Dick that you could tell like he's growing up and he's becoming more than just Robin. Yeah. So when Judas Contract came out, that was you knew it was coming. But man, it was awesome to read it page by page. It really was.
Perez, and we'll get into that with John here. Well, shit, John, let's just segue in Perez cover. Let's just go to you.
Okay. Okay. So there's a few things that Zakainen and I talked about last week. My favorite DC character will always be Hal Jordan. I liked him when I was a kid. I loved the idea of the ring and the willpower and that whole thing. I thought it was cool because, and this gets argued back and forth, but Marvel always like made you feel like you were part of it because everybody was just a person that got imbued with power somehow. Mm-hmm. DC was already these archetypes, they were already the ultimate of everything. So it was hard to connect with them, but Hal was a guy that just had extreme willpower and got the ring.
Test pilot.
Yeah, he was a pilot. He had
Ferris Industries,
Carol Ferris. And so I loved Hal Jordan as a character. And when I was a kid, I would get comics at garage sales and stuff. And so I got all the hard traveling heroes and I would read those and really got into those characters. But the truth was that Hal Jordan could not sell comic books. I mean, it was, and even at that time, God strike me down, Batman wasn't selling for shit either.
No,
at that time. So I do love Green Lantern, and I was joking last week about the fact that I loved when Hal went bad, and the reason I did was because it proved just how badass Hal could be if he put his mind to it. Like, everybody's always like talking about Batman could take down all these guys. He could do this. He could do this. He could do everything with prep time, blah, 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 prep time. Hal didn't need prep time. He decided in an instant to go the other way.
Yeah, well, having a power all his entire world away. That's what happened.
That said, Green Lantern Rebirth is an amazing run. All right. John's put that together and he pulled in pieces of all of the Green Lantern histories. He actually, he made Guy Gardner a Green Lantern again. And because of that story, Kyle, you found out what his destiny was as a Green Lantern and how important he was to everything. So Rebirth is pretty high on my list. Judas Contract is the one book that I swear to God, that and The Watchmen, anytime I start picking up that book, I will read it all the way through.
Yeah.
I love both of those books. And the last one I want to talk about is, we always talk about Dark Knight Returns. And if it wasn't for Dark Knight Returns, this book would have never happened. But Batman Year One,
Yeah.
that put Batman back at the top of the charts. That book is amazing. Miller fought hard to get that, and he got it. And it came after Dark Knight Returns, but he squarely set the universe that Dark Knight Returns would happen in with Batman Year One.
Yeah.
Yeah. The artwork too was Jim
changed
Lee?
art. He used the same I can't remember the guy's last name, but he did Daredevil Born Again. He did the art in that, and so when he came to DC, he pulled him with him. So Jansen did not ink that one, and Miller didn't draw it. What is his name? It's a long name, and I will always butcher it when I say it.
Jerk probably
But
knows.
he did the art in Born Again, and then he did the art in Batman Year One. And Batman Year One has such a gothic feel to it. The art is so raw, and it put Batman back on the charts. And like I say, at that time, Batman was one of the lowest selling comic books that DC had. Nobody cared. It was right after the Crisis, and that set things. And this is one of my things about DC. Yeah, Gordon was an absolute badass. And their relationship and how it formed through that book, man, it's so good. It's so good. It makes everything totally understandable about how that Batman was going to fit into this new universe. And DC you always say, like, well, if you don't like that version of that character, just wait a couple years and DC will reset everything again. And that's what happened. And that's why I go back to that. I also, will recognize that Rebirth and several other books that were done. That's it. That's it.
David Mazzucchelli.
Yeah, his art is great, and he changed the way he did it from Born Again to the way he did Year One, so that Year One did have that gothic noir feel, So there's that. I always want to do a shout out to the very first run of Swamp Thing with Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson. That was one of the first real comics I ever read as a kid, and I love the pain and suffering that happens in that book. The themes are so
tortured character. They pretty much nailed the shit out of that.
And then later, they really tapped into Swamp Thing's power and all that. But I really enjoy the books that are from an era when most of the stuff DC was doing was pretty boring. They had Green Lantern, they sent him because he could go to space, and and then all of a sudden Superman takes his family to space, and so nobody's like, well, I'll just read Superman. The Green Lantern always got crapped on as a comic because no one could really write him well unless he had another character. Yeah.
Yep. It's true.
How Jericho got that hair.
So that's so those are probably my favorites. I'd say Judas Contract and Watchmen are probably top notch.
I thought it was Crisis, because that's another reason I didn't pick Crisis. I thought you picked
I do love Crisis. I love Crisis because just the entire idea that DC knew that they had just gone completely off the rails, and they knew they had to fix things. They had to Marvelize the DC universe so that you would be more in touch with the characters, and you couldn't do that with having 4 or 5 different versions of every character.
Right.
So the genius of taking that in a 12-issue series with sub books is a masterpiece.
Well, not just that. I mean, it's the art. I mean, Perez. That's why I thought you were going with Perez on that one, because the story was so fucking good in Crisis. I mean, that's another one I just get goosebumps over.
I do love Crisis
covers.
on Infinite Earths. I absolutely do. I felt like the animated version that they did really left out a lot of stuff. I know they were trying to make it modern, to fit into modern stuff
in time.
Yeah, so they really missed out some beats of that. I think one of my favorite things is the epilogue with where Flash, where we in the story we just know that Flash sacrificed himself, but then they did an epilogue that explains how he did it, and he ends up becoming the lightning bolt that creates Barry, that becomes Flash.
Yeah, you're talking about some like fucked up shit, but that's how you do it.
Yeah, like so, and I thought that was not only the ultimate sacrifice in that we lost Barry Allen, but that he's permanently trapped in this time loop in that era, because nobody remembered after that. They knew Barry died, but they couldn't remember how. Like there was some big battle with a guy with a thing, and he
so
was
good,
really strong and stuff. But I really don't remember what happened. And that's how everybody was, and that's how they did that new thing. And Batman Year One is the thing after that cemented Batman into this universe. And then he took off, and Batman's legitimate badass, everything.
Well, that masterpiece, John, you're talking about with that kind of stuff where I'm seeing all these comics, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are they talking about here? I wanted to get back issues. I wanted to see, well, what's this run? Well, what's this run?
Well, that's something too. I always tell people with the Elseworlds stuff, if it wasn't for What If comics in Marvel, I probably would have never become the comic nerd that I was. Like I would read a What If and they'd be like, well, what really did happen in the Evolutionary War? I wouldn't have cared about that. What did happen in Born Again? And that was how a friend of mine said, if you're going to get back into comics, you got to start here with Born Again. And he hands me this, graphic novel. I think I still have it. The trade paperback. It is beat to shit, but I still have it. And I always enjoy.
The pages are still connected, actually.
Most of the pages are. The cover is ruined. I thought I had it setting here, but I've moved around in here since. But yeah.
Headcanon, I agree, by the way. Then it's like, fuck it, we'll start over again. Whatever.
Yeah. And that's one of the things like that I did love about Crisis, and I do love that book. I do love that whole idea. But then you look at something like Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth, where that is basically what Johns was doing. He was taking all this lore and all these stories and pulling them together in one to recreate Hal Jordan as the guy we knew and loved before.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool story for that reason. I think sometimes, and I think Judas Contract is a story like that, where there are so many things going on in the story. Like it's a perfect time for a villain to take advantage of that.
When he's attacking Grayson in Judas Contract, and it's Dick Grayson, and he's in this fucking apartment, and he's like, uses his, like, I think he bitched about his brand new leather coat he had to ruin to like put over the railing, tear it to slow him down as he's escaping. I was like, first of all, it's fucking Dick Grayson. What the fuck's going on? And I'm like worried about him getting murdered by this guy. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, because we kind of were told through like the distribution channels that it was going to just wreck everything you ever knew about the Titans, and I was so sure that Dick was going to die in that. I did not think that he was going to become Nightwing. I didn't think that was going to be what happened. But Perez's artwork, sometimes his artwork alone can save even a mediocre.
Was so goddamn hot, and it was in that story I actually gave a shit about their relationship because it was more adult at that point. Not I'm an alien, I know what's going on, I kiss people, learn languages. It went beyond that. Then there was an actual connection between Dick Grayson and Starfire, and you got to see that develop.
Yeah,
and her being smoking fucking hot did not hurt.
It didn't hurt at all.
The artwork for her, the hair flowing as she flew.
Yeah. Really good stuff. So yeah, there's several DC books that I do love and appreciate. But those are probably my top ones.
Yeah. One Man Army Corps.
Can I bring up an honorable mention?
Sure, buddy.
So the White Knight trilogy, by I can't remember who their names are, but it's what's his name?
I'll look it up.
Thanks. But that whole trilogy of Batman books is fucking amazing.
Sean Murphy?
Illustrated
by Sean Murphy.
So it's Gotham City, blah, blah, blah. Batman's chasing the Joker, of course. And there's a scene in that comic where Bruce just grabs a shit ton of pharmaceuticals and just shoves it down the Joker's throat while beating the shit out of him. And it fixed him, sort of. Not joking.
Joking? I see what you did.
No, I'm not joking. Like,
I see what you did there.
Superman Red Sun, that's another great book.
I have not read that yet. I've just read the snippets of it. Well, they did it animated, right?
Don't watch the fucking animated
I
movie.
did, and I'm like, damn it! I bet the comic is so much more fucking better because I love the idea of, especially with Batman. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, what I was going to say about Rebirth also, Zakainen, was that it gives you an explanation of how the entire Emerald Twilight story happened and why it was so easy for Hal to turn.
Yeah.
And it explains that a little better and makes it way more palpable that the entire Parallax thing was really not Hal's idea. You know, at first we thought that was just Hal's new thing, like it was just a name, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love the way he tied it all up, set the stage for Kyle Rayner to step up into his role. And, you know, I mean, it's just really good writing.
Plus, you get to know other members of the Lantern Corps, which I thought was really fucking cool. Like, you know, like, we got more of Kilowog. We got, like, that. It was just cool. It
was. I mean, it's, you know, it's one of those books in trade paperback form that's worth snagging the TP.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey.
Mikey,
all right, Mikey, what do you got?
You got some DC up your sleeves, sir?
I do. My primary entry on this is one that's pretty near and dear to my heart. Dad gave me this book to read. It was probably in high school. Called The Power of Ion. And I read it, and it might have been the very first trade paperback that like just sucked me right into it. So basically, Hal Jordan, who is actively Spectre in this story, comes after he murdered so many people, all of the lanterns he could find, and then came back as a redemption and recreated the universe and fixed his wrongs and was acting as the Spectre, comes to Kyle Rayner and says, "Kid, you got two choices. One, we can go back to day one. That ring comes to you and you let it go. Or two, you take that ring and you become everything I should have done. You do it. You do everything right. And you basically become a Green Lantern god." And
did he still have a ring, Mikey? I never read that. Did he still have the user power ring?
He still has his ring, but he takes the power of Ion. Basically, Hal gives him what he absorbed to become Parallax. He gives him the power from the main battery, and Kyle takes that and becomes the Ion, right? He becomes the Green Lantern. And then through the story, also Kyle Rayner's totally nailing Alan Scott's daughter. He's got the OG Green Lantern's daughter. So anyway, Stoops is telling him, this is too much power. And I'm not telling you that because like you're too powerful. I'm telling you that because this is going to start ruining the way people see you, and it's going to turn toxic. Kyle finally sees that and basically takes the power of the Green Lantern that is inside of him and recreates Oa and the battery and gives all of the Guardians all of a place to become physical again. So they get bodies, and he brings back all of that because he is so freaking powerful. And then later, you know, he becomes like the only Green Lantern to hold like every fucking spectrum of the rings, and you know, I like Kyle.
Well,
in Rebirth, he actually that he's the only one that can bring the Owens back.
Yeah, it. Oh man,
Big guy. Like he has that kind of
He
power.
wasn't that powerful in the Tower of Babel. Just saying, when Batman's contingency plans were thrown in, and Bruce basically blinded Kyle while he slept. That was the plan, and fucked them
Again,
all up.
because Batman with
Yeah.
prep time.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
damn,
so
beat anybody, John. Okay.
so the Tower of Babel was a storyline like people found like
Prep time.
basically the other heroes found out that Batman made contingency plans against them. Like,
Which was
how
good.
do you stop these superpowered individuals when I'm just a dude in a costume? Like,
Yep.
the Flash had a vibrating bullet that was giving him seizures. That was one way. Like, not to kill them, just to hurt them. Yeah, so like, but it was good. Anyway, also that is where the what Warp Chest just says is that's where the term fridge comes from, because a villain did that to Kyle's girlfriend, stuffed him in the fridge.
Yeah.
You should be able to highlight comics too, but if you see a comment, just tap on it, bring it up.
That was Mongol that stuffed his girlfriend into a refrigerator. Yeah.
Or was it?
Oh, Mongol did it.
Kyle's first.
Is it what?
Yeah,
Was it
Kyle's
Major
first
Storm
encounter
became
with,
like his main villain, right?
Is that what it was? I thought that was when they
He
tried to
eventually,
bring back
you
Mongol
found
as a
out that they were
villain.
working together.
My favorite Kyle story is the one where it's the chick that goes around killing Green Lanterns. Her name starts with an R, and like it's when Kyle is still the only Green Lantern, and then it's
Ruth.
like no,
Rachel.
Ravage.
Oh, Ravage, Deathstroke's
Rachel.
daughter.
No, it wasn't Ravage.
Oh, okay.
It was something though. Anyway,
Yeah.
Kyle's ring goes like unpowered, and she's got his fucking lantern. And like it's just him and her on an alien planet, and you see kind of how badass Kyle could be without the ring. And like to me, that was like that solidified. Okay, I'm kind of glad that Hal's gone. This is awesome. So sorry,
HGC. I think that was Ray Charles going around killing Green Lanterns.
Oh, I bet it was. I bet he's
sorry,
Hmm.
Well, Mikey, what got me when we were talking about that post stream, when he was talking, actually was post stream. It might have just been Mikey and I bullshitting after Monday night, probably with Chirk. Was I was asking about Kyle, and I was like, I didn't see again. I stopped. Kyle was not my guy. I didn't read anything. I didn't give a shit. And I was asking, Mikey, like, what drew him to Kyle, and it was like Colossus. If you want to expand on that, so people know.
Yeah, I mean, Green Lantern's always been part of my interests. For some reason, the green characters in Justice League have always kind of been my favorites: Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, John Johns.
And I don't really know why. And the only thing I can think of is because I think I said this last time, but when I was a kid, we took yearly trips to Branson. We stopped at a discount bookstore, and I got 2 books that day. I believe one was Crisis and one was DC Secret Origins. And Secret Origins was basically,
good stuff. Yeah,
good
DC
stuff.
Origins
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, the Secret Origins was basically just one origin book for the original 7 members of the Justice League. But in that book, I thought it was so cool because it's like Jean was this like PI, like his like 1950s soft shoe detective, and I always thought that was cool. And he's like the one telling this story, and I always thought that was cool. So because I grew up in a household that hated shapeshifters, so I can't imagine that was part of the lure of Jean. But anyway, so I was a big Green Lantern fan. Dad got me the 5-foot Alex Ross Green Lantern poster that was behind my door when I was a kid. So I always liked it, and I always had a draw to Kyle because in my youth he was the Green Lantern, right? Like Hal had done all this stuff, around the early 2000s. Kyle was the guy, and in the cartoons it was always Jon Stewart, and Kyle didn't get much love in animated stuff. And Dad was just like, "Why don't you read this? This is a good story with him." And then I read it, and I realized what makes Kyle such a extraordinary Lantern is because the Lantern, you're your strength with the green may be will, but imagination is what fuels the constructs.
Yeah.
Hal doesn't have much imagination. He's a hot shot. He's a pilot, so his shit's always going to be like racetracks and punching, boxing gloves and rockets. Very,
Jetpacks.
very, very shallow of the mind. But Kyle,
Easy.
are you going to tell me he's a case?
It's brute force, and it was a tool with what he had.
Listen, you're not Neanderthal, okay? God damn.
He's pretty simplistic when it comes to constructs.
Sure, it was a baseball bat, but
Rock,
wasn't it like a
stick,
club?
large object. So Kyle had this artistic thing. He imagined these complex things, mech suits, and when he's in Power of Ion, when he's got her. I don't think it's an Ion. I think it's just in one of the books when his girlfriend like teaches him like how to use the ring, right?
Yeah.
And so
she's
like, well, you should, just use your mind to show whatever you want. And he basically just projects a picture of her in like the skimpiest bikini. It's just like right off the bat, he's like that. That's what I want to see. And it's like, oh my God, we've never seen a lantern use his powers so creatively,
Yeah.
And then when it gets in his constructs and they're like, it's like he's murdering the bad guys with fucking kaleidoscopes of green. Like they're just intense. And like he's in like mech suits and like I don't know. It drew me in because as an artist, you think differently than, like Hal, who was a test pilot. He was a hot shot. He was, fast cars, fast women,
But no, you're right. He wasn't creative. I mean, that's not what Hal's strength was. But you said
will was his strength, was sheer will.
Again, he didn't even have his ring on, and him and Jon Stewart are battling. Some guy's like, "I got this ring here," and it was some like redneck dude, and he's trying to use the ring on him, and Hal's making him miss him by just using his willpower. I'm like, "Fuck yes!" But you're passionate about Kyle and being creative. And then looking for you went into it like not just being creative with it, but like figuring out like loopholes with the powers of the ring too.
Yeah,
is that right, Mikey?
That was definitely something Kyle did. Like got away from the yellow issue and all of that thing, which and that's what the Rebirth gets deep into is that willpower is the ability to overcome fear.
Yeah.
So that becomes the central theme of Rebirth for Green Lantern is that he gotta, he's just like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It goes into a lot of that stuff. The whole purpose that the Spectre took him over took him in was to help fight what Parallax was still in him.
Yeah.
And a main part of that story is him separating from Spectre and Parallax. I
love me some Spectre too, man.
Yeah, I always thought that was a cool character and enjoyed stories where he showed up and.
Well, I'm not even getting into the whole thing. Like again, Constantine, Sandman. So again, over my shoulder, the Endless.
Yeah,
I fucking love Neil Gaiman on the Endless, man. It's not even DC. I know it's DC, but Vertigo, is that right, Jeff? Was that run? Holy shit, man. It's so fucking good. But we can go the rabbit hole. The thing you said, John, was what about like the Ring, Batman. Jeff, did you want to wax poetic on Batman getting the yellow lantern ring?
It was only briefly.
Yeah.
And it was like right when the wars started and like
was it Blackest Night?
The yellow the yellow ring came to Batman and like Bruce freaked out. Like he was like nope. Like he willed it off of him basically because he didn't want to fucking use that because
fear.
Can you imagine fucking Batman with the power of fear behind him? Like power corrupts absolutely and just nope. And it was like one of the most like human moments that I remember in that book from Batman. Go figure. was Bruce just like rejecting it flat out because
Yeah.
he knew better?
But still, though,
That would have been awesome.
like I was sitting there and again, McFarlane, like I don't care. I'm gonna get the choice ones that I want. I'm gonna get some McFarlanes. I'm gonna have them over here. But then he'll put one out like, oh, that's a cool fucking Batman with fucking yellow power ring. I'm gonna pick that up.
Had to get that one.
I'm so tired of McFarlane putting out fucking Batmans. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a count. I probably have fucking 15 or 20 goddamn different versions of Batman now.
It could be worse. It could be Spider-Man.
I have
It
5.
could be. You have 5?
I have 5, and 3 of them are lanterns.
Yeah, they're good, man. I do.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't get Power Girl. Chat, hold me accountable. Because I didn't get Classic of Wonder Woman. I'm probably going to get rid of most of my fucking McFarlanes, and I will not get McFarlane, and I'm going to start like getting other shit. I'll probably get my like Justice League. I might go Mafex.
It could happen.
Why don't you go ahead and pre-order some Skeletron figures?
More?
Yeah. Yeah.
The 6-inch, I'm waiting for the 6-inch Skeletron figures. I got a good assortment of the 1/18 Skeletrons.
No,
so.
I'm talking the 60s.
The 60s I want. Are they in pre-order now though?
Yeah, that's pretty sure you can.
Yeah, they're on pre-order.
I have to look.
Whatever
the Android is, I want that fucking Skeletron, like the
you want you gotta have
1/12 version of that. Do
Yeah, we
look good. They had one at AR.
Yeah, we messed around with the prototypes at AR. They're amazing.
Guys, it's about DC tonight, okay? Unless Skeletron makes a DC comic, which would be really cool.
That would.
Doesn't matter to me. I mean, there's a lot of cool shit to be coming out and being nerd right.
Speaking of DC, I just spent about $130 on DC comic books.
Did you really? Are you getting back issues? What are you doing? Or trade paperbacks?
No, I got TPBs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found a Power of Ion for $33. So I was like, "Yep, do that. Get that in the cart."
Is that what you were saying, Mikey? When I was looking at that, you're like, it's pretty expensive because they didn't do a second run.
Yeah, it was just 2003 or 2004 pop when that came out.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It's the same with a lot of the Batman versus Predator books, except for the first one. Like, there's a million runs of that, but like the third one with like Tim Drake Robin, like $80. I'm looking and just trying to find it because I read it once in a Bash's grocery store when they still sold comics.
Yeah,
and was like, "Fuck! Like this is really good, and I want to know more, but I can't because, damn it." So,
yeah. So I saw it for around $30, so I was like, "Yep, go ahead and get that." And then I started looking at other stuff, and just I got a pile of them now.
Yep. Can I suggest a Justice League Elseworlds story for you?
Sure.
The Nail.
That is a really good book.
You said it's Elseworlds?
Yep.
Just like Elseworlds.
What if Martha and Jonathan Kent didn't find Kal-El? What if the Amish did?
Oh, you told me about
it's that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good story.
Well, and guys, that's why we get so upset. Like we see the Superman fucking trailer that they're doing way too much. Like they saw Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire and said, "That's adorable. Watch this. Hold my fucking beer."
Dude, I don't know what's happening in that movie. There's just like they showed like 30 different things from like books that have happened, and I'm just like,
Zack Snyder is good with C and D list fucking characters. He cannot do iconic fucking characters. So I think he was like, you know what? Let me get everybody fucking else as almost like chaff.
You mean James Gunn?
Or sorry, James Gunn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I've got lots of things to say about that movie, and I'm not going to do it here because...
Well, but that's what we're saying about the trailer. What we're talking about is we get so upset at that shit. We have the fucking blueprints from decades of great fucking writing.
Right, but then you have to pay those writers royalties.
Then you pay them. Holy shit!
They won't though. That's the thing. Like, so when Kathleen Kennedy took over Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
She's like, well, there isn't much to pull
God,
from.
why did you even say that? Now,
Sorry,
I know,
Jeff.
she's like-
Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, now we're demonetized.
Yeah. Anyway, so she was like, well, there's not much to pull on from Star Wars to make into movies and TV shows, and it's like, the fuck, lady, like. There's like over 100 novels, over 1,000 comics of what happened after Return of the Jedi, but you can't pull anything? Are you fucking stupid? Like, that's what I'm really worried about with the Superman movie, because like Jerk mentioned it in his stream, like it's supposedly based on All-Star Superman, but like I'm not seeing anything from All-Star Superman in that fucking movie, except for like kind of bummed out Superman.
Yes. They have the promotional stuff has been trash. And I'll say this, because again, HJC is one of my favorite people. No passing on judgment. I get that. I was that way. No, fuck you. I am passing all of judgment on this shit. Hollywood is creatively fucking bankrupt, man. They just put out trash and trash and trash and trash. If someone goes and sees it and they say, hey man, you should check this out, and somebody I trust, I'll check it out. But all this shit has been dead on arrival with Disney, Marvel, DC, Doctor Who, Star Trek, trash, all trash. They should step away from it and get back to it. I'd say to wait 10 years. No one's going to wait 10 years. Wait 3 years, which is
Creature Commandos on HBO Max is a really good show, by the way.
Creature Commandos?
Yeah, that's supposedly the first show in the DC was on being under the gun, as it were, and it's a really good animated show.
Under the gun, Jeff, you are full of I see what you did there tonight.
You really are. You really are. I will say there is one aspect of this Superman movie that actually looks interesting, and that is the Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
I am genuinely curious to see how he does that, because I like him a lot. I've seen him have a pretty good spectrum of talent. I am very curious to see his Lex Luthor.
I know
one aspect I'm actually excited to see. One aspect.
Like my brain already went, like when it showed Luthor with the pistol, I was like, okay, so that has a kryptonite bullet in it. God damn it.
Maybe he was just doing an interview about a Sasquatch.
What?
Several writers live in my hometown, Cullen Bun. Let's just over. I bet. Again, art cannot be made by a fucking committee, man. Good art can't.
So the animated Netflix Ghostbusters TV show got nixed, and they're going to be doing a movie.
Really?
Did they call you about writing it?
What episode was it, Jeff, that you were scheduled for?
3.
3, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
Again, man, independent. Shout out to independent. That's been the fucking time to get into this shit.
Check out Retro Freaks on Amazon for $4.99 to buy and $1.99 to rent.
Do it, man. So don't fucking support fucking Hollywood. Fuck them. They have been fucking this shit up for decades at this point. I don't say decades. 15 years. We're working on 20. We're working on it.
The cinematographer and director of Retro Freaks 1 we got together in our group chat and we watched the Superman trailer. And like, I wish that Michael would have gotten the chance to direct this thing, because his vision and the way that he does things and the way that he lights his set would have blown this fucking thing out of the water.
But they have to leave him alone. You can't have every 30 producers going, could you put my son in this? Could you change this up? Could you do this? Can they be gay? Can they be this race? Can they be this DEI bullshit? Fuck that, man. Holy shit.
Instead of doing a real dog, can we just do it CGI? Nobody would notice.
Well, I mean,
by the way, that dog, can we make him out of wiener dog?
Hey.
That'd be rad. Crypto's a dachshund. That would be sick.
So, the one good thing about this movie that I know off the bat without seeing anything was that Christopher Reeve's oldest or youngest son is in it.
Yeah.
And he looks like a better fucking Clark Kent than the guy they have playing Clark Kent. God
That was my first look at him, Jeff, as Clark Kent. I'm like, ooh, yikes. And, you know, Shane, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, except I will say this. Cinematically, I would agree. I think Michael Rosenbaum was the best fucking Lex Luthor fucking period, man, from Smallville. I fucking love the shit out of Michael. Do what, Jeff?
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. Okay, but if we're going voices, I agree. I'm with you there. I'm with you. Fucking Clancy fucking Brown. Put some respect.
There's a lot of the internet right now that agrees on the Rosenbaum thing. So that's a pretty,
I mean,
pretty
he was
common.
cool.
But he, you know, I think that he was approached and he was just like, I'm not going back there.
I do not blame him at fucking all, man. Holy shit. By the way, headcanon, I agree with you, and Jeff and I fucking love Nathan Fillion. I can't speak for the Kukoviches, but I'll tell you this: Nathan Fillion, fuck yes, they fucked him on this. I can already tell it looks horrifically bad. I mean, Jerk said it tonight. He looks like Guy Farley.
Why would you have Nathan Fillion be Guy Gardner? Of like all the people that Nathan Fillion could do, why would you do that? And what is going on with that wig? Why?
So I
let you make me happy.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking
great.
shit. Look at this.
Can't wait.
Let me do.
I'll see you tonight in my head movies. Fuck, man. Get out of here. How many sleep won't you wake up again? No. God damn you, James Gunn.
He should be fucking Hal.
Bitch.
He should be He should be Hal Jordan. I've always said that.
That'd be cool. And it'd be like an older Hal. That would be fucking rad,
oh, dude,
man.
if they gave him like the fucking gray
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Listen to me. When I say this, when I was reading comic books, and then they I don't know when they gave Hal in the comic books the salt and pepper. I wanted so bad to do that. I think that shit, they might have had Justice Society, and like everybody had salt and pepper. They showed everybody with the fucking gray streaks, and I fucking willed that shit to happen. Now everything's gray.
You went too
I had
far.
gray hair when I was 16, okay? And it filled in right here fucking first. Fuck me, man. Nathan Fillion is an older Hal Jordan?
That would have been much better. That would have been much better because he would have just been Mel. We could have gotten Firefly.
He could have said some shit where like there's a Titanic fucking battle, and then he could have gone fifth fucking wall and gone, I'm getting too old for this shit. Gold. Do we have a gold clip?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. This is how professional we are.
That's gold, Jerry. Gold.
It's the best clip ever, by the way. Gold, Jerry. Gold.
Oh, bam, bam.
Nathan Fillion voiced Green Lantern in a couple of the animated movies.
Yeah, he did.
That was cool.
I don't know if War Chest was talking about Salt and Pepper, the famous rap band. But I was
Salt and Pepper's
all about him.
But it's just
all about him.
I don't want to shit on that Superman movie.
You sure about that?
Sure about that?
I want to shit on the trailer because it looks horrible. It looks horrible.
That's trailer trash.
The thing is, like, all the stuff they showed could happen like in the last 15 or 20 minutes of the movie. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like a sizzle reel. Like and I think that's more what it is than an actual trailer. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
They don't know how to showcase movies
all
anymore.
The things they think are great. They show all the good scenes, and they're like, "Hey, now come watch it." And you're like, "What? That was in the trailer. What do I need to be here for?"
So the thing that gets me is like everybody was so pissed off about Snyder's grim dark fucking Superman and all this other shit, and man, that's not Superman. What's the thing happened in the trailer the very first time? Shows fucking Superman apparently fucking dying in the snow. That's okay. That's just
yeah, but he whistles.
He
whistled, Jeff.
Angry Jeff is my fucking favorite Jeff, dude.
Maybe it's going to be like Tarantino style, where we start out with like he's already beaten, and we tell the rest of it how he got there.
Oh, great! I can't wait for that fucking writing cliche.
Listen,
Tarantino comes out and he's like, "Well, I got a sign in the front that says Dead Superman Storage. Shit off my lawn."
Did you see?
Yeah, guy, I know I buy the good shit. My wife buys shit, so I get the good stuff.
It's a terrible trailer.
I just hate that, like,
God awful.
Everybody shit on the Snyderverse, like most people did. But I mean, if you really fucking watched it and you really fucking think about those stories that they were trying to fucking tell, they were good. They were great.
This right here. Even Superman, his only weaknesses are kryptonite and too much Taco Bell.
That's the thing that already pisses me off. Like, it shows him bleeding, which means that kryptonite happens in this fucking movie.
I know. I do, man.
That's what I
this
loved
movie
about
is
Man of
dead
Steel.
on fucking arrival.
That's what I loved about the Man of Steel was that, like, you know what else can fuck up Superman? Other Kryptonians.
Jeff, here's the promotion. Superman, his only weakness, loneliness. That was in the fucking trailer, dude. Get fucked.
I remember.
Justice for Cavill. I mean, they did. They fucked him. We talked about Ben Affleck. This might be, Chad, I'm sorry if we say the same thing over and over again because we do post show for fucking hours. Fucking both those fucking guys, man. Hardy, too, is fucking Bane. I fucking love Tom Hardy. Fuck Tom Hardy and fucking as Bane and fucking Tom Hardy as Venom. But Ben Affleck, that's Dark Knight Returns, fucking Batman. Holy shit.
He doesn't fit with other fucking heroes unless he is the antagonist. And like him being like the fucking let's go get him guys in the fucking Justice League movie, what the fuck? Like
using guns to mow fucking the parasites, what were they called? Parademons. Parademons. Fucking mowing them down. That's not what Batman would do.
You know, there was problems with that in Batman v Superman when he's fucking panfilling cars, and like those guys are fucking dead. Like, they're not coming back. They're but also, as a writer,
they're just
if you
out.
put a character into a certain like cage, right? This character can never do this. That is a bad thing. However, you can make a character do something where it's not complete garbage. That was the one thing about Snyder's Batman that I didn't like was that he was fucking killing bad guys. Like, no! You know? And people brought up, well, he did that before. Yeah, he did that in 1939.
Well, they talked about it with like Arkham, right? The Arkham games were like, those guys are dead. Listen, they might be horrifically crippled, okay? That's okay. That's fine.
I mean, so that's what Damian Wayne said in Injustice too. Like, oh, we don't kill, but traumatic brain injury is okay.
I do. That's because there's things with Batman that should be contradictory. It should be complex. He's like, I'm not going to use a gun. Okay, I get it. Red Hood. Jeff and I talked about this shit. There's that line Batman doesn't fucking cross, and then Red Hood's like, you didn't cross it for me? Me? Your boy?
That psychopath killed how many fucking millions of people because you decided that you didn't want to fucking do what was needed? Well, fuck you.
Dark Knight Returns do with that Joker, right? He's sitting here they're at the amusement park. He's like, you could have fucking stopped me this entire fucking time. You didn't. This is on you. He's not wrong.
Even Leto in Snyder's Justice League cut, when he's like, how many times are you going to fail to pull the trigger and send a boy to do a man's job? And that's when you saw Bruce like, I will fuck your world up, and just.
But that was the problem with Batman v Superman, right? Like they were trying to show this Batman that was almost Dark Knight Returns Batman, but darker, and trying to explain that he was at the end of his rope. He was kind of going off the deep end anyway, but it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense if they were trying to create a new universe that you'd have a Batman that needed a redemption arc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Rollkeeper
if
right
it was going to be
here.
a standalone movie that should have been Dark Knight Returns, that would have been something different. I could have accepted that they pushed Batman all the way to that edge, but I think that was always my problem with it was, I mean, I love the scene where he takes out the guys and that have Martha.
The warehouse scene is
But
the best Batman
yes.
fight.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
And the cult, we talked about this, I think, post-stream last week, is, man, yeah, the cult, holy shit, that's a good story, man.
It is.
And because we don't blow all this content, like, we'll probably have another DC episode at some point.
We'll
right?
probably have another Marvel one, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, that's why we hone in.
Mikey, did you have any other DC comics you wanted to talk about? Because we just, shit all over you.
Yeah,
Well,
I talked about it last week in the after show. I think that the 50 issue run of Vigilante is really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's almost every cover in that 50 issue run is badass. Like everyone does something different, and he was actually, I believe, introduced in Teen Titans.
Which one?
Vigilante, the one that's
maybe
in, the what?
Maybe
the one that's in the look that is in the Peacemaker show. That one, he started out because he was a district attorney, and he was helping them solve some case, and he eventually, I think he dies or gets shot or something, and they send him. He disappears for a year or two and comes back and. He's got all these skills and some special powers, which that story, how he got that ability is so 80s that it's almost terrible. But as the issues go on, his the guilt of the things that he's done start weighing on him. And then at one point he accidentally kills a cop, and that becomes the catalyst for the ending of the series. And talk about ending a series, they did. That's why I loved seeing him in the Peacemaker show, but it was almost like insulting to anybody that anybody loved that character or read that book or that series. It's just like, dude, this is not what he was. This is Deadpool in this costume.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it because it was funny and it was entertaining and all that. But again, as somebody that actually loved that storyline and read those books, it was just man, because it would have been a great dark story.
Well, there's so many good ones, man. We could talk a whole show where I just fucking talk about Lobo the entire goddamn show, because I fucking loved how they took a character from Legion of Superheroes, a villain, sorry. They took a villain from Legion of Superheroes and just went completely over the fucking top with them. They're like, you know what? We need a really good character. Here's a guy that's got some backstory. Let's fuck around with this guy. Holy fucking shit. I love when he shows up. And we talked about this probably post-stream. I love goddamn Blue Devil, man. I love the shit out of Blue Devil. He's such an obscure fucking character, but he was a stunt man on a movie set that constructed an Iron Man suit, basically, really low level shit for this movie. And then all of a sudden he fights a Nebros. I can't remember the demon's name, who traps him in the suit and makes him a real fucking demon. There's so many fucking cool stories with this shit. I mean, it was almost like Blue Devil, or it was like Deadpool before Deadpool. I mean, he had fourth wall. That was the whole thing with it. But it was like this normal guy gotten thrown to the world, and all of a sudden he's on the Justice League fucking satellite, fucking arm wrestling Superman, and Superman humored him, and it was fucking hilarious. So DC, listen, I'm a Marvel guy if I have to pick which one I like better over the other. But there are so many fucking bangers in fucking DC, man. I still fucking collect DC. I still think Wonder Woman is smoking fucking hot. DC Bombshells, we tried to do some artwork for that. I love the shit out of Aunt Lucia, who did the artwork. I got to meet him at Planet Comic Con. He's another guy like Bradstreet. He went to go sign it. I'm like, I know this sounds weird. Could you not sign your artwork? You can sign the back. I'm good with that. He's like, oh, really? That's cool. And he signed the back of all the reproductions that I have. I love that shit, man.
That's cool.
No Shane. No, we're almost at 11 o'clock, and it's going to take us 14 minutes because, that's what we do. We talked about this. Go ahead, Jeff.
I got to answer this question for HTC.
Which one?
We all love Kingdom Come.
Yes.
We weren't going to mention it because we're like, we all love that comic. I
haven't read Hush. I think Hush is another one like you were talking about at the beginning. That's kind of like, holy shit, there's an... Oh, you're not big on the Hush storyline, really?
I'll take Noel over Hush any day.
Hush is a great Batman story, but it is not the Batman story.
Would you recommend I read Hush?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd recommend you read it. Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
The only the Batman story for me is Demon's Head. When he first met Ra's and he went through that, every issue dealing with Ra's al Ghul is my Batman books. Those are my Batman books. Like, that's Batman in his best form. Yeah. So sorry, I flipped the shit out when I saw that comic in animated form on Batman the Animated Series. Changed a little bit. The first episode, the first comics when you met Talia and all that shit, but like, I had a fucking nervous breakdown, like fucking 12-year-old, 10-year-old Jeff. I'm like, but the comic book, and it's now a cartoon, and what's it? Oh, geez. So, yeah.
I think those are lines that Nathan Fillion says in the new Superman movie, just like that.
Just exactly delivered exactly.
Almost just like that.
Right,
I do hope that he talks like
essential.
I think that would be great.
Yeah. What's John? What's your quintessential Batman story? Outside of the big two that we've talked about, outside of no Kingdom Come, no Dark Knight Returns. Outside of those, what would be the one you'd recommend Zakainen order now?
Batman Year One, if he hasn't.
I got it. And, I've read that. I kept thinking Jim Lee did the artwork for that, or maybe Year Two. I don't know why that stuck in my head. Like he did cover art for one of them. It's the one where he's got the scythe.
That's Year Two.
That's Year Two. Okay, I got both those. I fucking love the shit out of those.
I really love Year Two, even though it's totally disconnected from Year One. And I mean, it's totally almost like they're trying to rewrite some history there. Yeah. But yeah, Year Two is good.
Gotham by Gaslight that Jeff's told me. Quiver is up there. Jeff, what was the third one? I had a third one.
So a third one for me would be Black Mirror. That is the definitive Dick Grayson Batman storyline.
Black Mirror.
That deals with Jim's son coming back, which is not a good time.
Isn't Year One the one where Jim Gordon's like a former Green Beret?
He's a badass. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's
Chicago, and he immediately pisses off the police force, and they send some guys over in masks to beat the shit out of him, and he takes them out.
Fucks them up.
Yeah, he tosses them the bat and gives them the advantage, and just fucking waylays all of them because he's Jim goddamn Gordon.
Yeah,
I love that version of Gordon.
Well, we talk about it again, like with when I'm talking about, I could do another segment just talking about fucking Deathstroke, man. I think John's the same way, man. Fucking Slade. Again, I've got a penchant, to use the French word.
Whoa.
I know, we're fancy.
Big guy.
Well, that's two of these gin and tonics.
I need water. Slow it down.
Deathstroke has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi?
Somebody needs a beer.
I have a great story about being drunk and speaking French in Ottawa, Canada, by the way. Remind me. So for me, for like Slade Wilson, I love the super soldier. When I was a young kid, I became an old man later, like I am now. I fucking love that shit. I love superhero serum shit. I love Captain America. I fucking loved Team 7 and Gen, Image Comics with Gen 13 being their kids. Holy goosebumps again. I could do a whole fucking show about fucking Team 7. I fucking love the shit out of that. Soldier 76 and Overwatch, right? anytime you tell me there's this old soldier, right, that they enhanced, they did shit, they experimented, whatever, I'm fucking all on board on that shit.
Did
So,
you ever
Deathstroke?
pick up any unknown soldier stories?
No. I've heard that I should.
Pretty good stuff. Especially some of the newer stuff where they've kind of like told more modern style retelling of old stuff. But Unknown Soldier is one of those guys that seems like he could do just about anything.
I do not have Superman Year One, nor have I heard it recommended.
No, it's good.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those like they went through and they did like 3 or 4 of them all around the same time because they knew they had to. Because people that like read the comics and also read the tie-ins to the Crisis, like were totally confused if they didn't read Crisis.
Yeah.
So that should have like been a boom for DC to restart, but they waited a few months till they started like introducing the year ones and explaining the new origins of these characters. So that was one of the ones that came out around the same time.
What War Chest is saying here, this guy comes into Wichita every once in a while, and we need to go have a beer when he's not sexing up the ladies, okay? This guy right here, checkmate, it's this. Fucking Manhunter with Mark Shaw. I dug the shit out of that fucking series, man. Holy shit, I fucking love Manhunter.
Yeah, Manhunter was good.
Oh my God. And
what was your nickname in high school, wasn't it?
Predator.
Manhunter. I thought it was Manhunter.
Watch out, boy. I'll chew you up.
Ooh, Zakainen.
Good night, everybody.
Let's do this here because 10:53. We're going on 8-10 billion hour dude bros. We're creatively bankrupt. We got some ideas. What do you guys in the chat right now? What would you like to see us talk about in the upcoming weeks? Again, it's got to be something that's kind of like our jam. Like all three of us have to be in this. Don't be stupid. Okay.
Come on, dudes.
I don't remember this name, Crazy Razzie. I like the late Sniper movies. Tom Berenger, that first fucking Sniper is a fucking banger. I think I watched the second one, but I don't remember anything after that. Wasn't there Sniper 1 and 2?
Yeah, there's several of them.
There's more than after that? Really? Is it all Berenger?
Okay, is he into? I can't remember. I know he's in like some of the later ones.
Oh, maybe.
The Razzie's talking about.
Well, Crazy Razzie or Crazy Reezy? I don't know.
That's a good topic.
Well, we've got topics, right? But yeah, sci-fi. We haven't really touched on sci-fi. That'd be a pretty good one, guys.
What's up, Razzie?
Goalkeeper.
Eight of them. Chat with him, yeah. We should. Okay, so are we doing next week? Next week is the day after Christmas. Are we doing that? Yeah.
Fucking bah humbug. I'm all about it.
Great. So we should come up with a topic before then. We'll have a topic before then, everybody.
Well, again, we're if you guys have some shit, shout out. We'll take it under advisement, okay? We do, but we want to sit there and talk about. This is where we'll talk about all kinds of shit. Like sound. I'd like to talk about like our favorite soundtracks, whether it's TV.
Oh man, whatever. Soundtracks are good.
So DC topical. The Batman animated series, where it was The Edge that did the opening fucking riff for the Batman. Fuck yes.
Somewhere Tony went because he loves that fucking cartoon.
Oh, that's the Batman he's trying to recreate, isn't it?
Yeah.
I loved everything about that. I love Clayface in that one. I love who became Clayface. Oh.
Yeah, same here. I did not like the last season when they introduced the Justice League.
11 Sniper movies? Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't think you want us to talk about Super 7.
I will bitch about it.
I don't want to talk about Super 7.
I would like to fucking rail about Super 7.
Yeah, not a big fan. So soundtracks are a thing I would love to talk about. We could do that. So soundtracks next week?
Let's talk about sci-fi
do it.
soundtracks. I mean, there's a couple, right there.
Soundtracks in the movie that goes along with it. So yeah, okay.
Even TV shows. I mean, if there's
sometimes not the movie that goes with it. Sometimes
Vikings,
just the soundtrack.
Vikings for me, the opening to Vikings, that fucking song is badass for the Vikings TV show. I love the shit out of that.
Is it on your workout list?
That's too slow.
There's a lot of things wrong with Super 7, but I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Like what you
will.
Like what you like. Enjoy what you like, but
Crazy Razzie, tune into probably Thursday Night Thunder on Joe Jerk or Monday Night Rod, and and then comment about Super 7. Somebody's gonna highlight it. Probably one of the mods here, and then we're all gonna go off on the motherfucker.
Probably.
Gross.
So yeah, we got a couple ideas, but yeah, we have stuff for days, man. But we want to sit there and know what you guys want to talk about. It's gonna be pop culture. I mean, that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about movies. We're gonna talk about comics. We've worked toys into what we're talking about.
And yeah, I mean, it's just not a focal point because most of the crowd that we run with is already part of like 6 toys.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
I could definitely put some in there for sure.
Yeah, I'm already. I mean, Netflix, Daredevil. I got movies like Old Boy, Daredevil, The Raid.
An Old Boy. Holy shit!
Have you ever seen The Raid?
Daredevil.
They live.
They live. You know what? I'd include video games honestly in here, and those interactive Arkham, fucking Batman. Holy shit!
Yeah. All right. So remember, our show is basically dudes in a bar talking about nerd shit.
Yeah.
So you guys are more than welcome to pipe in with what you would like us to talk about and what you would like to talk about to us in return. That'd be awesome. But until next Thursday, we will be going. That'll be on my channel. We'll have all the advertisements.
Here, I'll help you out, buddy.
John, thanks for joining us this week again.
Thank you for having me to book into the comic discussion. It was fun.
Hell yeah, man.
It was great having you, John.
Thanks, Pop.
So until next week, everybody, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and we will see you next Thursday. And yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Happy Festivus.
I'm going to hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit that button.
Do it.
Game over, man. It's game over. Eat my short.
Go fuck yourself. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Flush that turd down the drain. Avenge me! Avenge me!
Thank you. Thank you.